So a lot of financial assets are not reportable in a lot of home countries. And I'm going to discuss how people use second passport or alternate identities, which are typically passports other than their home country passports, to legally diversify cash abroad. Now, this is different from illegally stashing cash abroad. You're working within the framework, you're utilizing the tools, and it's not about identifying loopholes in your country's rules and requirements. It's legally following their own law. So if your home country is okay with not reporting certain assets, for example, typically bank accounts need to be reported to all home countries, but you're someone who is on their path to diversifying, right? Either you have future plans of leaving your home country and settling abroad, or if you want to settle in both countries but don't believe in keeping all your eggs in one basket, you want to have cash abroad, then there are legal techniques which you can employ in order to diversify properly. And in this video, I'm going to discuss how other people do it so you can get some idea about the mechanics. And none of this is immigration, legal, tax, or finance advice. Always use your brains, use common sense, and always ask the right professionals for legal guidance in all these matters before you do anything. Now, the first thing to identify over here is the country, right? Where you're going to feel secure, where you're going to feel safe. This is not the country where you typically get a passport immediately from, because a good country is not going to throw away their passport. That is where what you can get immediately or one needs immediately is the residency. It could be temporary, it could be permanent. For a lot of countries, it does not matter whether it's temporary or permanent. They both work the same. In some countries, they come with slightly different rules or rights or privileges, right? So for starters, you need some form of residency. You can't trigger this on visitor visa or visa waiver program. You want the residency. So once you identify the country where you want to locate yourself for part of the year, or if you're physically not going to move, then at least where your assets are going to be securely held. So if you were to physically go and visit that country or access your assets, then you have that rights to enter and do your business or conduct your affairs in that country. The second key thing over here is to add a mask or that legal layer of protection, which is that alternate citizenship, alternate identity. A lot of people, a lot of successful, wealthy people value their time. So they're not going to sit and wait for 5 years or 10 years to get the passport from this country of residency. They'll quickly get started with the residency permit. But then when you're talking about having a nationality for the purposes of residency, that's where people need that added layer of protections. You quickly get a passport, instantly get a passport. The fastest that you can get is in 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and that's the fastest. But then you have other passports that are available. There are 15 passports that you can choose from, which provide citizenships immediately. And if you've missed my all important coverage on what those 15 countries are, you can hop onto this video. This talks about every single country and it compares these passports. And if you've missed my video on the importance of the passport, the fastest passport that you can get in 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you can hop onto this video. This talks about the advantages, the benefits of this passport. Now, once you have this passport, you have the shield, you have the base layer, you have some basic protection in place. And there are a lot of residencies which don't ask you for a whole list of nationalities that you have. So let's say you have 5 passports or 6 passports. They don't care. They don't have the time, right? Legally, they only require you to list the passport that you want to exercise, right, to enter that country. That is where then you obviously supply them with information that they've asked for. So your residency sits on your passport, and then that passport was obviously applied from your home country. So your home country passport is kept aside. Now that is on one side, and this whole setup is on one side. Now you have a secure residency, you have an alternate identity or alternate citizenship, a powerful citizenship, a solid citizenship, a secure citizenship, and then a secure residency tied together, merged together. And this gives you that added layer of peace of mind, the protection, where then you can legally diversify your assets. Now, as I said, you have a couple of options. If you're dealing with bank accounts, you obviously have to satisfy your home country requirements, right? Your original home country requirements. A lot of people believe in diversifying that further. There's certain assets which are not reportable in your home country, and then again, this needs to be checked with your own home country. For example, in a lot of Western countries, gold is not reportable, so people will typically look for gold storages. They legally acquire and safeguard their gold in the foreign jurisdiction. So let's say in future you don't want to be reportable, so you have this setup, you want to move away from your home country nationality, you want to renounce your citizenship, or you at least want to have the option of renouncing your citizenship because this thing was not reportable to begin with, because you have followed your law, you have set up this whole structure properly. You have the mechanism to renounce, right? You have your monies safeguarded outside, you have your alternate citizenship acquired, you're not going to be stateless once you give away your home country citizenship, so you have a clear path. But the interim step is to set up this structure. Second step is really to move your assets, and third step is optional, which is give up your citizenship or not give up your citizenship. That's completely up to you. You can also work towards a foreign income exclusion. So when you are completely physically away from your country for a certain period of time, you can look at the foreign income exclusion. So whatever you're earning, right, whatever is hitting your bank account can be excluded, and non-reportable assets are obviously going to continue to be non-reportable. Now, what are some interesting nuances that you need to consider or take into account? There are few things that you would take into account. For example, when you talk about trust protection, a lot of people actually look at jurisdictions like Mauritius, where of course you're going to get a permanent residency, lifetime renewable, right? There are a couple of programs. One is based on age. The second one is based on diversification, no donation. You're not giving away any money to anyone. You're simply opening up your own bank account. You strike the residency, and Mauritius is particularly very good for trust creation. So with trust, you have beneficiaries. Your trustee is the upper layer, right, that you're showing to the world. And trustee could be your lawyer, it could be a company, it could be your own family members, it could be a friend, whoever you want to appoint as the trustee. They're the ones that is going to face the world. Maybe their citizenship or their nationality is different. You're the beneficiary who is sitting under that layer, and Mauritius provides some of the best protections for beneficiaries of trusts. So people will consider a trust if they're in this unique situation, right, where they want to legally diversify their assets. Other jurisdictions for gold, and the big thing with storing gold in your home country is that in your home country the value for gold might not be there, the liquidity for gold might not be there. So you want to be in a jurisdiction where it's easy to purchase, store and sell gold in incremental values. For example, an excellent place for gold purchase is Mexico and Dubai. Dubai is the capital, right? It's like the capital. You get cheap gold. You can store gold very easily. Even Hong Kong is an excellent jurisdiction for legally securing your gold, storing and trading your gold as and when needed. The other thing that needs to be taken into account is the territorial system in place, right? So when you're talking about places like Dubai or Paraguay or Panama, you're talking about the territorial advantages that you want to take, because when you're triggering a residency in a country and diversifying your assets, you want to make sure that country is not interfering in your businesses outside, right? So your home country is doing the worldwide thing. You already have one animal to deal with. You don't want to fool around with other animals, right? So you want to have something that is going to be your friend. It's going to be territorial. Territorial is friendly stuff. They're not going to bother you, chase you outside. So you legally follow whatever little requirements that they have, and then they provide you with those advantages, right? And then you're structuring assets which are non-reportable, legally non-reportable. So you're not breaking the law. You're doing everything by the book. You're trying to utilize the opportunities, the best opportunities that you have with the source country and the destination country, and you're surrounding your strategy accordingly. Dubai can be done via Dubai company formation. Oman can be done also via Oman company formation. Both are equally good jurisdictions. If you're physically going to be there for some time, then Dubai would be more fun. Oman is a boring place, but it's a safe and a nice country. It's a usable option. So those are the two options in the Gulf region. If you're looking at Latin Americas, then you have have two excellent choices. The practical ones, I'm not going to talk about Uruguay, no one is going there, right? But practically speaking, two of the most utilized ones are Paraguay, which actually people go and do this, and the rest of the people who have some money, who can afford things in life. The poor man's residency is Paraguay. So if you're out of cash, you're broke, then you obviously consider Paraguay. But if you have some money, then you're definitely looking for something more premium. And the Dubai equivalent on the Latin side would be Panama. Panama uses the US dollar as the main currency. So if you're afraid of Panama banking, then gold diversification could be an excellent choice in Panama. It's also territorial system in a lot of cases. And let's say you're physically trying to be there, right? You're physically trying to be in the country and diversify your assets, then an excellent choice would be Argentina, because for your physical time in the country, you could actually apply for this nationality in a couple of years. Recently made a video why Europeans are going crazy behind the Argentinian citizenship. If you've missed that video, hop onto this one. This talks about 2 passports that Europeans are crazy behind. We have attorneys in all the places that I'm mentioning, and our objective is to get you the benefit at the fastest possible time. That's why our attorneys are the ones who actually work directly with immigration. They're there from 8:30 to 5 in most cases. So you and your family are going to get the benefit the fastest, the soonest. And at any point in time, you want to get started with the residency of your choice, we can get you started with one or all of these options. You can always click the link, book a call. We can discuss your strategy and get you started with the right option. And before you go, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any important updates. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and catch you in the next one.